Today I'm letting 2 dice decide my journey across Germany using only regional trains. The first die chooses one of the first 6 departures on the departure board I can catch. The second die decides how many stops I stay on each train before getting off. It could be a busy city, a tiny village or somewhere I've never even heard of. There's only one way to find out. Let's roll. So I just bought myself a Deutschland ticket so I can travel not only today but the whole month of August in Germany. Unlimited on regional trains. So that's what I'm going to use today. So let's roll the dice and then go to the departure board and see what train is leaving. Let's go inside. Thanks for joining me. Trust me, there are a few surprises waiting later in this journey that I definitely didn't expect. At smaller stations without a departure board, I'll use the first 6 platform numbers instead. Well, I heard of Leverkusen. Never been there. So as soon as we depart, I'll roll the second dice and see how long we have to stay on this train. I have no clue where we're going to end up today. We're moving. Let's get the adventure started. So I don't know how many stops this train has.
RB 48 nach Leverkusen-Mannfort. Nächste Station Köln-Messe-Deutz. Dort bestehen Umsteigemöglichkeiten.
Let's roll the second dice.
Sehr geehrte Fahrgäste, Ihre Rechte bei Verspätungen oder Zugausfällen finden Sie im Internet unter www.
From Cologne I have to do 3 stops, so the third station I have to get off. So now this is the first one, Köln-Messe-Deutz, and then 2 more to go and I have to get off the train. And I have no clue what station it is, so let's see. Yeah, one extra rule, I'm not going back to the previous station, otherwise I could be ending up back and forward to both stations, so it's not really exciting, right? So this one is Köln-Messe-Deutz and then 2 more to go, I have to get out.
Aufstieg in Fahrtrichtung rechts.
So I'm on the National Express train, the RB 48. This same train there.
RB 48 nach Leverkusen-Mannfort.
We're at Köln-Mülheim. So the next stop I have to get off.
We ask you to leave the train.
So my stop I have to get off, it's also the last stop of this train. It's going to terminate there, so I have to get off anyway. And then we'll roll the dice for the next train. I didn't know that. So that will be Leverkusen-Mannfort. These are pretty nice trains, especially if it's quiet. So they also got a first class. We arrived, Leverkusen-Mannfort. Looks like a pretty small and quiet station. Let's do this. I have to get off anyways. So there are only 3 tracks, so let's roll that dice. So track number 1, and let's see what train, if there's a train leaving from there. I have no clue. So there is a train leaving in about 20 minutes. So that's the first one leaving anyway from this station. And it's going towards Wuppertal Schwebebahn. Okay, so let's wait for 20 minutes at this pretty quiet station, pretty new station. Looks really clean and modern.
AB48 nach Wuppertal Schwebebahn.
So 4 stations, have to get off again. Let's see where we end up. So I'm at Solingen Hauptbahnhof. So actually this is the 3rd stop and not the 4th as I rolled the dice. But the next station where no trains going, only buses. I don't want to get stuck on a bus. So I got off 1 station earlier. So let's go to the main departure hall and roll the dice again. So my next train, regional train number 7 towards Rheine. So I'll be leaving in another 20 minutes again, so I'll check out the station a little bit. So track number 3 and number 8 next to each other. So what's the logic about that? Oh yeah. So track number 3, the next train towards the city of Rheine. Pretty busy. So there were 2 stops, and right now we're at Wuppertal Schwebebahn. So that was a 20-minute ride. So let's roll the dice again. They're extremely busy in that train, so I didn't film that much, but so track number 5. Is there a track number 5? Well, that is track number 5, but it's under construction, so I gotta roll the dice again. The station got 5 tracks, but track 4 and 5 are under construction. Yeah, and behind me is the famous Wuppertal Schwebebahn. While waiting for my next train, I stumbled upon one of Germany's most unique railways, the Wuppertal Schwebebahn. Opened in 1901, this suspended railway hangs above the river Wupper and carries millions of passengers every year. Even after more than 120 years, it's still an iconic way to travel in Wuppertal. With another 30 minutes until my next train, I couldn't resist taking a quick ride on the Schwebebahn. Just one stop there and one stop back before continuing on my journey. Well, that was fun, and let's go back. So 10 more minutes before my train leaves towards Hamm West. Yeah, so and again, like always, all trains are delaying. So, well, mine is only 3 minutes, so that's good. And all the other trains are 1 hour. Yeah. And there's my train coming. So, welcome to Holzweg. Never heard of it. And this was the 5th stop after Wuppertal Oberbahn. I think there's only one train going from here in the next 30 minutes. So the track where I just arrived, let me see, there's no train going in the next hour. So I think there's only one option. So I'm not gonna wait for 1 hour here because there's completely nothing here. There's a train going on platform 2. So it's a delayed train. So let's do that. So track number 2 it is. Yeah, that was a little confusing. The departure board said no train in the next hour, but this train is a delayed train for like a few minutes ago. So 3 more minutes for my next train towards the city of Krefeld. And then let's roll the dice again where I have to get off. I hope it's a bigger station than this one, with more options. So I got on the wrong train back towards the direction I came from. So I got off at Schwerte, rolled the dice again, track number 3, and that's yeah, a different direction. So that's a train to Münster. So let's see. God, is this track? Yeah. Didn't want to go back towards where I came from, so I got off at the first next stop. Extremely busy on all the trains. So I'm at Schwerte Ruhr. Never heard of that.
Nach Münster in Westfalen, Hauptbahnhof. RE7 nach Münster in Westfalen.
Also. Aber es ist unterschiedlich.
And welcome to Hamm, Westfalen. Look at that. Free Airshow. How cool is that? Oh, they're coming again. So as I was saying, arrived in Hamm, Westfalen. So I'm still in the North Rhine-Westphalia region, northeast. So I'm going for lunch now, and I'm gonna do another dice. So been almost 3.5 hours, 4 hours now traveling. And still in North Rhine-Westphalia, so let's see if we can leave this Bundesland at the end of the day. So let's get lunch. So I just missed that other train. Have to run a little bit. So I rolled the dice again, and this is my next train towards the city of Bielefeld. And it has a lot of stops. Let's see where I have to get off. Welcome to Bielefeld. So I'm still in the North Rhine-Westphalia region, but almost at the end of it. So the northeastern end. Yeah, I'm going to the city, have a short break. I'll see you back on the train. So almost back at the station. Let's roll the dice again. So my next train towards the city of Paderborn. Those were only 2 stops, so I'm still in Bielefeld, but just 2 stops out of the city center. So there's only 1 train going back to Bielefeld and 1 train going to Paderborn, the train I was just on. But of course I had to get off, so only 2 stops. So I'm gonna wait for the train I was just on, another one towards Paderborn, and then roll the dice again. So the train to Paderborn isn't going for like an hour, so they reduced the schedule. So the schedule here, so I got no other option than to go back to Bielefeld main station and then roll the dice again. Yeah, that's the only option. So, and that one is going in 7 minutes. I'm not gonna wait for an hour here. So I decided not to go on that train. And there's a second reason, I'll tell you in a minute. My next train should be leaving from this track, but it changed track number 4. Okay, that's my next train will be the train RE6 towards Bonn. Okay, so I'm heading slightly back south again. But this train isn't that busy. Yeah, 10 more minutes for my next train towards the city of Bonn. So the second reason I didn't take that other train again back to Paderborn, it was extremely busy. And it's extremely hot in that train. Already noticed. And yeah, and the second reason at Paderborn, I looked up the station at Paderborn. There were only 2 trains going, 1 regional train and 2 ICE trains. So that made no sense to go there. And all those stations before that one are all single track stations. So there's either way towards Bielefeld or towards Paderborn. So I didn't feel like going over there and going back again to Bielefeld. Did that once, that's enough. So now I'm taking the RE6 towards Bonn. And it's the ICE towards Düsseldorf. That would be nice, driving an IC for a few minutes, right? So busy on those regional trains the whole time. Back at Hamm West Bahnhof. Been here a few hours ago. I skipped a few stations. Why? Those were all very small stations with no other trains running from there than on the train I was already on. So it didn't make any sense to get off and wait for an hour to get back on the same train. So I'm back at Hamm Hauptbahnhof. I'm gonna roll the dice again. Not the last time, few more. And let's see where we end up next. Okay, track number 1. Another RE1 RRX train towards Cologne. I think it's quiet. 20 past 6. I don't get it. Oh, okay. So it just got delayed for 20 minutes. Yeah, remember the Airshow a few hours ago? That was here. It's nice and cool in here, so. Okay, that was it. The last dice is rolled. So I've been on regional trains for almost 10 hours. Yeah, I'm pretty much finished for today. 1 hour before I wanted to finish, but yeah, 10 hours is long enough on all busy trains. Ended up in Dortmund. So what did you think about this this challenge? Let me know in the comments. So maybe next time I will do including the ICEs or just ICE long distance trains. That would be fun, right? Let me know in the comments if that's a good thing to do. So thanks for watching. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next time. Check out Dortmund.